Hello viewers, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, the Israeli military says its forces have freed 4 prisoners from central Gaza as it expanded its attack into the besieged and bombed area. The announcement of the raid in Nuseirat on Saturday came as Palestinian health officials said at least 210 people had been killed and injured in Israeli attacks on central Gaza. Residents said Nuseirat had been subjected to heavy Israeli air and drone strikes, with children among the dead. The army said the 4 prisoners, Noa Argamani, 25, Almog Meir, January 21st, Andrei Kozlov, 27 years old, and Shlomi Ziv, 40, were kidnapped at a music festival during the October 7th attack by the Palestinian group Hamas in southern Israel. They were in good medical condition and were taken to hospital for medical checks after a complex daytime operation. They were rescued in 2 different locations in the heart of Nuseirat, the report said. Israeli police said Commander Arnon Zamora was killed during the mission. However, later on Saturday, Hamas Qassam Brigade spokesman Abu Obaida said more prisoners had been killed during the rescue operation. Saturday's operation represented the largest recovery of live prisoners since October 7th, bringing the total number of prisoners rescued to 7. Last week, the Israeli military said there were still 120 prisoners in the Gaza Strip, 41 of whom the military said were dead. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said forces were operating under heavy fire in Gaza's most complex urban environment to rescue the prisoners. He called the operation one of the most heroic and extraordinary operations I have experienced during my 47 years of service in the Israeli defense establishment. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office released a video showing him meeting the rescued prisoners at the Sheba Medical Center in Tel Aviv. He then hailed the rescues as an operation that will go down in history. "We are determined to secure the release of all the hostages, and we expect Hamas to release them all, but if they do not, they will do whatever it takes to bring them all home," he said. Netanyahu said in a brief speech, none of the Israeli officials mentioned the dozens of Palestinians killed in the operation, according to sources. The Israelis are not only talking about the costs of this operation and will not talk about it because they want to perform it as a success. Netanyahu was under a huge amount of pressure, and the hostages and missing the family forum is very clear that it ceases the best and most reasonable option to obtain all the prisoners who are still in Gaza. The Ministry of Health in Gaza has released images of bleeding patients, including the children, who were in the corridors of the Hospital of the Martyrs of Al-Aqsa in Deir el-Balah after the Israeli army said that the terrorist infrastructure in the rescue operation seemed to enter the rescue operation. In a statement, the Gaza government press service said the Israeli army launched an unprecedented brutal attack on the Nuseirat refugee camp, leaving dozens of martyrs and wounded in the streets and continuing its aggression against all areas of the central governorate, Deir el-Balah continued. In a statement, the Gaza government press service said the Israeli army launched an unprecedented brutal attack on the Nuseirat refugee camp, leaving dozens of martyrs and wounded in the streets and continuing its aggression against all areas of the central governorate. Deir el-Balah continued. Sami Abu Zuri, a senior Hamas official, told Reuters after the Israeli military's announcement that the release of 4 prisoners after 9 months of fighting was a sign of failure, not success. Thanks for watching and subscribe to our YouTube channel.